Well, hello everyone. This is Lawrence making another video trying to build my YouTube channel up with content. So making this video, and it will be a video of thrift store compact disc music finds. Last week I put what I hope will be a series called kind of forgotten about albums, albums that um, were issued, were successful, but just kind of faded out. And last week was a Dave Mason live album called Certified Live. And I hope you could check that video out as well. But today we're just going to have some fun. I'm going to show some recent thrift store compact music CD finds before I put them in the library there. And I got about 25 to show off, and we're going to get going here. And the first one is I was really excited about because I believe the CD booklet was signed by the artist, okay? And I'll show you it. I got to put on my readers. There we go. Get that shadow out of there. That's the 1978 release by Parliament, Motor Booty Affair, okay? Right there. And if you see, there's a signature and of George Clinton and some artwork he did of the dog and a spaceship and all that. Now, when I see this, I have to ask myself, is the autograph authentic? Well, in short, I looked it up. It looks to be, okay? It's kind of tricky with looking up an autograph to see if it's real because, you know, I sign my name kind of differently. Not quite the same all the time. I may make my S's a little bit different at times. But I did find a guitar, an acoustic guitar, George signed, and it had the same droopy-eyed dog on there, and very similar, not similar, but the same type of signature, okay? And I talking to a friend, and he said that George would do a lot of meet and greets after shows, okay? And that would be, you know, signing autographs of CD booklets and such. And perhaps this was from the meet and greet. So this is very cool to have. I've got a lot of Beach Boys music on CD and some on vinyl, but I never had this one. It's basically a best of collection that came out in the early 70s, 74, I think. It doesn't have any date here. And this is just a standard first issue on CD, Endless Summer. And it contains 21 songs. So when I saw it, you know, building up the Beach Boys collection and being a completist, why not? Why not get it? All the big hits at the time, Good Vibrations, All Summer Long, Help Me Rhonda. So this was pretty cool to have. Another CD that's a compilation of 70s rock based on a TV show that aired on Fox. It's called That 70s Show. And I love That 70s Show because I think my cat's coming up here, so that's back noise. What was so cool about the 70s show, because I grew up in the 70s, so I could really relate to that 70s show. But when I was a teenager, 13, 14, 15, there was a big 1950s revival with Happy Days, American Graffiti, and the music from that era was big again, okay? And I thought to myself, wait a minute, what about my generation? You know, when are they gonna? When is it my generation gonna be represented in the pop art form? You know, and came that '70s show. And of course, Dazed and Confused was the start of it. Okay, I love the movie Dazed and Confused, and '70s show came along. It has the sampling of the big rock songs of the day, Jam, Ram Jam, Golden Earrings, James Gang. I'm naming the band, not the songs. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Argent, Montrose, Blue Oyster Cult, Todd Rundgren, Alice Cooper, The Kinks. I don't know. I guess the Kinks were a '60s, '70s band, okay? So one of their songs out in there, TNCC and Big Star. And really love that show. Something more recent, and I have it right here. I only have one of her CDs, but she had a big hit back in the early 2000s. What was the name of it? Oh, yeah. Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. And I'm talking about TJ Tunstall, if I pronounced her name right. And it's the only CD I own by her. And I hope to find more of her stuff. A group that was pretty big in the early 70s, going into the 80s, and Brian Eno, Roxy Roxy Music, Brian Ferry, and they're the best of Roxy Music. Okay, and Brian Eno, yeah, I got a brain fart there. And of course, Brian Eno went on to be a producer and was a architect as far as the soundscape goes of YouTube's latest albums, classic albums. So, although I was not big into Roxy Music as a teenager, they seemed a little too exotic for me. But as the years went by, I got older. I kind of got into their music a little bit. So it's nice to have this the best of Roxy Music. Excuse me. This is a Joni Mitchell album. It must have came out in the early '90s, 1991, and it's called Night Ride Home. And this was her last album on the Geffen label, because she was on Reprise for a good chunk of her years, and switched over to Reprised, and this is her last album there. Here's a really cool one, really cool, from an artist who unfortunately died very young. Part of the 27 Club. It's a shame that she passed away and left us, but this is Janis Joplin with the Big Brother and the Holding Company live at Winterland, 1968. How cool is that? And this is a great live CD. Just there at the prime, and Janis was just killing it. A group that was very big in the 1970s, mid 1970s, or a little later part of the 1970s, kind of faded off a bit as the 80s come, but came back strong, big. And this is one of their big selling albums from the 80s, um, Heart Brigade. And it has the song What About Love? I think it does. Let me check that for you real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. If not, I would be corrected as somebody corrected me about the Dave Mason album. Hey, I do the best I can. The main thing is just to have fun, have a conversation. This is a pretty good album, and Nancy is at Nancy Wilson and Ann Wilson. They're at full throttle, okay, and a little bit 280s production, but the songs are good. The guitar solos are killing it, and so I'm glad they had that revival in the 80s. Another live album is Creedence Clearwater Revival, the concert. And I actually have this on vinyl too. I absolutely love this as a live album because they're just really nailing those songs. And it's unlike the studio version, they're unpolished, they're kind of raw, and you don't quite hear the fill-ins, as many fill-ins as you do with the studio stuff. But they're just a great live band, and there's other live stuff out there. They just released the live at the Royal Albert Hall, and I got two cats up here, so they're kind of distracting me. And Keep On Chugging, which is the closer, okay, is just magnificent. And we're coming towards the end. I'm going to try to keep this 15 minutes, but I'm going to just take a quick break. Okay, I'm back. I just had to take a quick break. We got about 6 more titles to look at. And this was part of the Martin Scorsese Present the Blues series. He did a Martin Scorsese did I wouldn't describe it a documentary, more of just a story about the blues and little bits here and there. It was really interesting. He did not follow along the lines of Ken Burns' jazz documentary, and the blues. A series of CDs were released from it. The artists that were featured, they released like a best of type of thing, and this is the one for Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay, I got the Eric Clapton one, but Stevie Ray Vaughan, and it is a really good, inside the booklet, good text write up and pictures and such. And it contains how many songs? That's what happens when I take them out of the thing there. The song titles are in jukebox, maybe about 18, 19 songs. And so this is really good to have. That adds to my Stevie Ray Vaughan CD collection. But I have to confess, I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's an incredible guitarist, unreal. But he can be a little bit too flashy for my taste. I mean, I still listen to him, admire him, and all that. But I like the more, Chicago blues, laid-back style of his brother, Jimmy Vaughan, right there. And this is CD released about back 2010, okay, where he's covering standards, plays blues, ballads, and favorites. Love it. One of the last albums put out by this artist, who's a legendary 1950s rock and roller piano player, Jerry Lee Lewis, and this is called uh, Mean Old Man. Okay, and he's getting out of a car surrounded by beautiful women. You go, Jerry, you devil. Okay, and unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. Oh, now that's a happy man. Happy man. Um, I think Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and a slew of other people. He does a version of Sweet Virginia with Keith Richards on vocals and guitar, and Mick Jagger's on here too. I forgot which track, and I'm trying to find that. Um, Rocking My Life Away, Sweet Virginia, Me Old Man. Dead Flowers. Okay, he covers also Dead Flowers, a couple of Stones tracks, and Eric Clapton's on here, Willie Nelson, Sheryl Crow, kind of a star-studded thing, which was kind of the trend for the veteran rock stars. So Jerry Lee Lewis with his companions there. We'll go through these really quick, and they're still in the jewel box because they're the big 2 CD jewel boxes. But Paul Simon, Concert in the Park. What about that? And this was like during his height of the Graceland Rhythm of the Saints period. Speaking of Eric Clapton, a live album he put out in 2001, right there, and yeah, this is a pretty good live album, and it also has a bonus DVD of the show. So you got disc 1, 10 tracks, disc 2, 9 tracks, and then a DVD of 20 tracks of one of the shows for this tour. And I got this for $1. That is great. An artist who's a young artist who's very big on the blues and rock scene and his scene, and his this is the artist Gary Clark Jr. and the album The Story of Sonny Boy Slim. Okay, this is an artist that's just coming on my radar, and I'm just getting familiar with. So I'm glad I got the CD. Three more to show you here. Back in 2008, Americana artist Shelby Lynn did a tribute album to Dusty Springfield, or it's called Inspired by Dusty Springfield, Shelby Lynn. So covers a number of Dusty's songs, and produced by Phil Ramone. This is a Hear Music put out by Rhino, Something to Believe in. It's a compilation CD of great soul artists, The Impressions, Emma Franklin, Ray Charles, Carla Thomas, Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, Jackie Wilson, James Brown, Nina Simon, Marvin Gaye, Dionne Warwick, Curtis Mayfield, Charles Mingus, Billie Holiday, and Mahalia Jackson. And it's all contribute to the artwork of Jacob Lawrence, 1917 to 2000. And you could look him up. I don't know much about the art world, but it has a number of his artwork inside. And then one more, and that'll be it. Noel Gallagher, High Flying Birds. So it's actually the CD, and there's also a bonus DVD, and it's like a book. You open it up, and you can see inside there. And I really liked Oasis. I like Oasis from the beginning, middle, and toward the end. And it's a shame they broke up because I thought their last album, the title escapes me right this second, was magnificent. But yeah, the brothers couldn't get along. But they have done some really great work on their own. So maybe they'll get together. Okay, now I can go and put these in the libraries. I just love to show them off, okay? And so if you watch this video, I hope you enjoyed it. If I got a few things wrong, let me know. But don't be mean, you know. Hey, Lawrence, enjoyed the video, but here's one thing you should note. You know, that's fine. If you want, please consider joining my YouTube page and leave a comment. I love comments, and at least a thumbs up, okay? Thank you so much for watching. And I can take my glasses off now. And I want to wish everyone a nice day. Bye-bye.